Welcome to On-Court AI, the UK's leading AI tennis coach. I'm Coach Chris, joined as always by former touring professional Alex and sports psychologist Dr. Sam. Don't forget that you can upload shots and get instant feedback in the app, and use AI to explain how to improve. Today, we're diving deep into the world of forehands as we break down some fascinating data from the On-Court AI community. A total of 68 videos were uploaded this week, with 29 players sharing their progress. The most exciting part? We saw 42 new members join us. It's always great to see fresh faces in our community, and I can't wait to help everyone improve their game. Let's focus on the forehand stroke today, as it has been a hot topic. On average, the forehand score was 47.6 out of 100, which is quite a bit lower than the backhands, which averaged 59.3. That's a 12-point gap that suggests many players may be leaning too heavily on one wing.
That's such an interesting observation, Chris. The forehand is essential, but it seems like players are struggling to find their groove with it. I remember when I was on tour, I had to constantly refine my forehand to stay competitive. The forehand can be a real game changer, especially when executed well. If a player is relying on their forehand without solid mechanics, it can lead to inconsistency during matches. It makes sense why so many players are looking for ways to improve that stroke, especially when the data shows they seem more comfortable with their backhands.
Absolutely, Alex. This brings to mind the mental aspect behind the forehand as well. Sometimes players may lack confidence in their forehand, leading them to avoid it in pressure situations. This can create a cycle where they don't practice it as much, which in turn makes them less confident. It's essential to break that cycle, and developing a strong mindset can really help players embrace their forehands. We'll discuss some strategies later on to build that confidence and consistency, especially since many in our community seem to need it.
Great points, everyone. Let's take a closer look at some individual player highlights. Sudhir stood out this week, scoring 72 out of 100 on their serve. What's particularly impressive is their toss height of 45 centimeters, which is right in the sweet spot. A good toss can set up the entire serve, and Sudhir is clearly doing something right there. It's a reminder that while we're focusing on forehands today, other strokes are crucial too. Balancing all aspects of your game will only help your overall performance.
Definitely, Chris. Sudhir's high level of skill is commendable, but it's also key to remember that a strong serve can take pressure off your forehand. When you're serving well, you can dictate the point, which allows you to use your forehand more effectively. On the flip side, I recall facing players who had great serves but struggled with their forehands, ultimately limiting their success in matches. Therefore, while we focus on developing that forehand, understanding how it fits into the overall game is vital.
That's a fantastic insight, Alex. When it comes to mastering a stroke like the forehand, mental preparation is just as important as physical technique. Players need to visualize their forehand in action, building a mental image of executing it perfectly. This kind of visualization can enhance muscle memory and improve performance. If players can mentally rehearse their forehands, it can significantly boost their confidence when they step on the court.
Now, let's talk about some specific metrics from our community. Fahmi showcased an impressive X-factor separation of 65 centimeters on their forehand. For those who might not know, X-factor separation refers to the rotational gap between the shoulders and hips at the start of the swing. A larger X-factor means more trunk coil, which can generate greater power, almost like winding up a spring. Fahmi's score demonstrates excellent technique, and it's a great example for others to learn from.
Absolutely, Chris. The X factor is crucial for generating that power and spin on the forehand. I've seen players on tour with varying X factors, but those who can achieve that optimal separation often hit more explosive shots. They can dictate play and create opportunities for themselves. It's fascinating to see how biomechanics plays such a pivotal role in performance at all levels, from recreational to professional.
And this is where the mental aspect comes into play too. When a player understands the mechanics of their forehand, they can trust their body to execute it. This builds confidence. If Fahmi can maintain that X-factor separation, they will likely see improvements not only in their forehand but in their overall game. Players should embrace their unique styles while learning to trust their body's mechanics.
Moving on to Jonathan, who had a weight transfer measurement of 60 centimeters into their forehand. That's fantastic. Weight transfer, or hip forward movement, is essential for generating power. The more a player can drive their hips into the shot, the more energy they can transfer through their swing. Jonathan's ability to achieve this will definitely make their forehand more impactful. It's a vital skill that many players struggle with, but it can be practiced and improved.
I completely agree, Chris. The weight transfer is a key indicator of a player's ability to hit powerful strokes. I often see players who are hesitant to engage their lower body, which can lead to weak shots. On tour, the best players have a fluid weight transfer that allows them to hit with both power and precision. Jonathan's ability to execute this well will definitely give them an edge over opponents. It's great to see these fundamentals being recognized in videos.
And let's not forget the mental side of weight transfer. Players need to have a mindset that encourages them to commit fully to each shot. If they hesitate or are unsure about their movement, it can lead to a breakdown in technique and missed opportunities. Building the habit of committing to that weight transfer during practice will help solidify it as an automatic response on the court.
All right, now let's take a look at Daniele's performance. They scored 68 on their backhand, showcasing an X factor of 43 centimeters, which is good. However, their follow-through finish was plus 3 centimeters from shoulder height, indicating there's room for improvement in that area. The follow-through is crucial for maintaining spin and control. When players cut it short, they often lose power and depth on their shots.
That's a solid point, Chris. A complete follow-through is essential, especially at the professional level. I remember my coach always stressing the importance of finishing high on my shots. It not only ensures better accuracy, but also helps maintain rhythm in the game. Daniele has the potential to elevate their backhand with just a few adjustments in their follow-through.
And from a psychological standpoint, the follow-through can also represent a player's confidence in their shot. If they're hesitant or unsure, their follow-through might be cut short. Encouraging players like Daniele to commit fully to their follow-through can boost not only their technique, but also their overall mindset. When they see the results from this commitment, it can further enhance their confidence.
Now let's switch gears to our drill of the day. Today we have the low-to-high swing path drill, which focuses specifically on the forehand. This drill is perfect for beginners and is a great way to practice developing the correct swing path. Players should aim to start their racket below the ball and finish the swing above shoulder height. This is important because it helps generate the necessary topspin and height on the ball, which can improve overall ground strokes.
I love this drill, Chris. It's a fundamental aspect of hitting a successful forehand. When I was on tour, I noticed that the best players had this flawless low-to-high swing motion. It allows for more control and power, making it much harder for opponents to read the shot. The topspin created by this technique can also push opponents back, giving the player a strategic advantage.
This is such a valuable drill, especially for building muscle memory. Players need to approach this drill with the right mindset. Patience and persistence are key. It's essential to practice this consistently so that it becomes second nature. I recommend setting aside around 15 minutes for regular practice sessions. Over time, this will help players build a strong habit and bring awareness to their swing mechanics.
To wrap up the drill, players can start by finding a clear space on the court or a wall to practice against. Begin by focusing on that low-to-high swing motion. It's crucial to avoid common mistakes, like cutting the follow-through short or not making contact with the ball in front of the body. Instead, practice hitting the ball with a full swing, finishing high across the body. Trust me, you'll feel the difference.
As elite players, we often adapt our training to reinforce these techniques. I remember practicing similar drills that focused on swing path and contact points. The more you can replicate that form in practice, the more automatic it becomes during matches. It's all about developing a reliable forehand that can withstand pressure.
And remember, players should celebrate their progress, no matter how small. Each practice session is an opportunity to reinforce good habits. When they start to see improvements in their forehands, it can significantly boost their confidence, turning practice into a positive reinforcement cycle. Consistency is key.
In summary, the key takeaway from today's episode is a strong forehand starts with understanding the mechanics and committing to the follow-through. With consistent practice of the low-to-high swing path drill, players can develop a powerful and effective forehand that will elevate their overall game. Keep pushing yourself, and you'll see the fruits of your labor on the court. Ready to improve your game? Upload your shot today at oncourtai.co.uk. And remember, share your shots with friends, and let's get the community growing. Until next time.
This podcast was sponsored by oncourtmatch.co.uk. Perfect for tennis clubs to supercharge their membership. You can automate your club nights, manage box and ladder leagues, and so much more. Check them out today.